Hey my friends, welcome back to a new video. Today we'll be talking about 2022. The upcoming 2022. As we are moving through December, we're almost at the middle of the month and it's a great time to think a little bit about the future. I was just in meditation and I was curious, what can we tell about the future? What can we sense if we go into more energetic level, if we connect to that collective consciousness, where are we, and what can we tell about where are we going, what is going on? So I'm finding out that the biggest problem in society is not that we are too much lost in the past. It's not that we don't really know how to live in the present moment, but it's the lack of a vision for the future. If we don't have a vision for the future, it's like living without any inspiration, living without any drive. So if we are not inspired to live, then we are suffering, then we are constantly in that tension, waiting that some changes will appear, that some changes will happen, right? So the thing is that when we change our direction, the destination will change. Some time ago we've been talking about the shifts in timelines, the timeline shifts. And in that video I was talking about what happens when we completely change our state of being, when we change our perception. For example, we let go of certain beliefs and ideas and stories that are not serving us anymore, and we start reading more inspiring books, we start meditating, we disconnect from all the action that is happening in the matrix. We become more aware of the self, and from that greater, more empowered state, we start acting differently. We start doing different things because we find out there is a greater potential within us and we want to fulfill it. So why I'm talking about it today? I'm talking about it because many people I can see in the community, I can see in the comments, I can see when I'm talking with people, even people which were never interested in those kind of things, in the spirituality, in the self-development or self-growth. People which were truly like narrow-focused, or closed-minded, are now curious to understand how to reach greater potentials. Because in 2021 and 2020, because of all those restrictions, everything that is going on in the world, at the beginning people were waiting changes. But then we found out that during the time of waiting we can actually do something. So many people started meditating, many people started taking care of themselves, many people have changed their values about life. So if life is not all about material things, what more there is? We started valuing health, we started valuing freedom, we started valuing great relationships, like honest relationships. We've started valuing all those different greater aspects of life. So why it is important? If many people are changing their values for the greater values, more meaningful ones, it means that many people are changing their direction in life, right? If those greater values are health, wealth, the real wealth, right? Health is wealth. Freedom, happiness, peace of mind, a greater state of being, more uplifted state of being. It means that those people are actually stepping out of the system and they are making the difference because they want to experience greater joy in their lives. And we find out that joy is actually the byproduct of when we start following our hearts. Joy, happiness, it's the byproduct of following our hearts. So in 2022 we will be able to see more of those great changes because more people are actually already following their hearts. So we will see a great communities which will be rising. People will be coming together, which has already started. People are coming together, communities are building. But in order to build a good quality community, we need time and we need knowledge. We need people which have that ancient knowledge. Because in ancient times there were communities, but because of certain reasons those communities have fallen apart. So we need that understanding what was missing, that those communities have fallen apart. And we can tell right now what was missing. The knowledge that we have now because of our history. We went through wars as society. We went through different attacks. We went through ego wars, egoistic wars, emotional wars, right? Anger, stress, sadness, judgments, comparison, and all of that. In the past we went through all these wars, and now we have the knowledge what is not working anymore, and we have the knowledge how to overcome it. We can see that science and ancient knowledge, ancient wisdom is coming together. We can see that. So when those communities will be built on this greater, more empowered information, more empowered knowledge, combined with ancient wisdom, we will see truly empowered communities. Those will be communities which can be broken. So in 2022 we will see many people coming together. And I'm bringing those information because we need to have a certain vision of the future, which can actually inspire us. We need to stand together because somebody is good in cooking, somebody is good in nurturing the plants, somebody is good in expressing wisdom, somebody is good in fixing homes or whatever, somebody is good in healing, somebody is good in psychology and all those different things. So we need to stand together, and that's the solution. So another thing that we can also talk a little bit about is money. There are so many things happening in the money system. So when we're talking about money, we think about cash and the numbers that we see on our bank accounts. But money is basically just an exchangeable energy. When you give something valuable, in return you receive something which to you represents a certain value. So it will always be that way because that's the law of nature, the law of exchange. But what can we expect for the future? We can expect more digitalized money, like more and more people are talking about cryptocurrencies getting bigger and bigger, but we can see that things are getting more and more digitalized, and I believe that in 2022 it will become more real than ever before. Like cash is slowly going out and everything will become digitalized. So what is important right now is to educate yourself about future investments, not because it's good or bad thing, but to prepare to go with the flow of evolution. You know, as in the past, things has changed and some people just got stuck in the past. The technology came in and people couldn't use to it, so they got kinda stuck in the past. If we truly want to thrive, we need to go with the flow of time. And as I said yesterday, and I always say it to you, nothing is good or bad. No system is good or bad. We need to be those greater observers where we are looking on everything as a part of the wholeness. We can see it as a great evolution, so we can learn to use it for the greater good. You know, if money is getting digitalized, it means that it will be much easier to earn money, which is a good thing because people will start focusing more on how to provide values to the world than how to make money. That's truly a great thing when we start looking on it that way. When we truly pay more attention to how to provide values to the world, we will receive more valuable things, whatever values, whatever is valuable to you. So also more and more people are becoming aware of what abundance truly means. Especially in the times like now, we've experienced we can have money, but it still happens that sometimes we can't buy certain things because they're not available. Just it happened when I needed to buy a new computer. My old computer died last year. I needed to buy a new computer and I couldn't buy it because they were not available. Everything was out of stock, so I needed to order it from somewhere else. It's happening, things are out of stock. So we need to prepare for all those changes that are happening. In 2022 we will probably experience more of that because it's like the aftermath of all the postpones in transports, of the food and of all different things that are, traveling all around the world to reach the certain destinations, to get to the shops. Things will change in many aspects, but what is important is to observe but not react, to stay creative. So when you see challenges, you will be able to create solutions. We need to understand that every time when something seems like it's getting out of stock, it's getting challenging, like things are falling apart, the new opportunities are coming in. It's always like that. That's actually the force of nature which is helping us to evolve. It's happening all the time. So if we are able to listen that force of nature, we are evolving with ease. So be that greater observer which always sees that there's another way. There's always another way. So I don't want to bring you a video which will scare you, this will happen and that will happen, because it has no great value, truly. I know that our minds are capable of much more than just thinking how to survive. I know that when we place a lot of attention onto something that we're constantly thinking about, we will make it happen. So if we're constantly thinking about what is going wrong and what's the worst case scenario that will happen, most probably we will experience that. And because our future is actually the destination which we decide right now, I want to have a greater, more empowered vision for the future, so I can be inspired to walk towards it. That's the mission with my videos, because, each of us can create a beautiful future, and I believe that 2022 can be a beautiful year. It will be challenging at some aspects, but it will be beautiful at many levels. For example, this great connection between science and mysticism, the ancient wisdom, that great connection is actually bringing us a completely new understanding of the world, understanding of our history, understanding of who we truly are. Once it will become the must-know thing, it will go into schools, people will start educating about it, and it will create a completely new timeline again. It will not happen in 2022, but it will happen in the near future. We will create many things which can become healthier for the earth and for ourselves, for the society. We will psychologically evolve, emotionally we will evolve. Not in 2022, but in the near future. But right now we are at that crucial times where this huge shift is happening. So I'm happy about that. And I'm happy for you, for everyone who is actually doing the work of changing yourself, of going within, overcoming your self-taught limitations, your limited beliefs, healing your wounds from the past so we can thrive as a new self. I'm truly happy for you, because that's the work for which you need to be brave, you need to be strong. So in 2022 we will see many people getting back to that ancient wisdom, now stronger than ever before, because we will feel empowered. The collective consciousness is rising, we can see that many people are waking up, even people which were never interested in those kind of topics are now grabbing books, some consciously, some unconsciously, are now grabbing books because they are curious. Well, if all the things that I've been working on for my whole life are not working, what else is there that can actually help me to improve my life? People are asking those questions, and those questions will bring answers. What else life has to offer? So, well, there's something about law of attraction, what's that? And people start learning about it. Well, my thoughts truly affects on matter, let's try it. And people are shifting their thinking patterns, and at the beginning, you know, there's always beginner's luck. Some people manifest some beautiful things and people say, well, it truly works. And when that kind of knowledge goes viral, what happens? A major shift happens in the society. So we can see, probably since the year of 2000, a major shift is happening. But, you know, I know that because I'm talking with older people. I'm a young guy, so I can't remember what was happening at the year of 2000. But when I'm talking with older people, especially if I'm talking with astrologists, they're saying like some big differences are happening right now. Like there are kids coming up, kids have been born which are coming up with such an incredible wisdom. Those kids don't need to read books, but they already know everything. The problem is that their parents don't understand them, so they're still pushing them the old rules, the old way of education. So some of those kids forgot how powerful they are. The chosen ones, right? I will make another video just about that. So 2022 will be an incredible year. But also some hard things will happen, because especially when we go into evolution of social media, we can see the metaverse, right? Everything is going into the direction of artificial reality or virtual reality. So at this point it's even more important than ever to go outside into the nature and learn from it. Learn from the nature, the laws of nature, how nature is working. So we can never forget how sacred it is. You know, we can spend 1 hour on the computer, 2 hours or 3 hours on the internet, and soon we forget how important it is to go outside under the sun, to get some fresh air, to move our bodies a little bit. It's also important to educate kids right now about the power of nature, the healing power of nature. How important it is to eat food which the nature provides. It's really important to know that, because right now it's almost hard to find the real food. And in 2022 we will find more and more people which will be educating about it, because it's coming out. More and more wisdom which is encouraging us to plant our own food, to take care of our gardens, and so on. So my vision for the future is to have my own garden. I'm happy actually, because my parents have it, Maya's parents have it, so we are provided with home vegetables and so on. But in the near future I will have it my own as well, because I want to learn how to plant, how to nurture it. I think it's truly great to see how you plant a seed and it grows into something you can eat later. You give something to the earth, you nurture it, and then the earth gives you back something. You know, that's the law of exchange that we've been talking before. We need to learn more about it. We need to educate ourselves about it, because that virtual reality, it can be a tricky thing, truly, because it's so easy to lose yourself in it. Even scientists right now are saying that it's a greater possibility that we are living in a virtual reality right now. So it's hard to know if that's true or not, but we can say that it's easy to lose ourselves, how many people are lost right now. So it's important to get outside into the nature, to reconnect back with yourself, to go within and feel alive, my friends. We will see in 2022 more people will be doing that. You will go outside and you will see people are meditating outside. Because, why is that? Because that's actually the only way to know yourself better. Nobody's telling us, nobody can tell us who we are. Nobody can tell us who we are, because not many people actually know themselves. How can somebody tell you who you are if even they don't know themselves? By going within, by taking time for ourselves, by decluttering our minds from all the information which are not actually serving us, you know, fasting of information, we meet our true self. And in the future, more and more people will be doing that, because that's the only solution to become a greater version of yourself. And if you want to help others, you truly need to know yourself, so you will not get exhausted by providing something to others. Once we are standing in the truthness of who we are, it feels like we have that infinite amount of energy. And we also know when we need to take a break, take time for ourselves, recharge the batteries. So we will see more of that in the future. And once again, it's a beautiful thing. So yes, social media, and we can see some things are going into the direction which rather should not go. So what's the good thing about that is that all that artificial reality, the virtual reality, can actually help science to explore how our brain works, how our mind works. So you don't need to jump off the bridge for scientists to measure what will happen in your body when you experience such an intense fear and adrenaline. You can go into virtual reality and do that, and they will measure the same effects. So it's an incredible thing because of that, we can learn more about ourselves as well, and that's actually happening in the science right now. So we should appreciate also that, because once we can learn more about our minds, we actually deep inside we already know that, but once science says that it's real, more people will start thinking about it, more people will start believing into that, and more people will start practicing different ways of meditations, different practices which can help us to develop our natural gifts. So I'm looking on it from the positive perspective, because I know that I will not be controlled by it, because I have control over my mind. And I want to encourage you to always seek to have the control over your mind, and nothing outside of you will be controlling you. But again, because everything has its purpose, the purpose of that is, like I said before, like the force of nature is triggering us, urging us to evolve on that conscious awareness, on that level of awareness where we truly start appreciating what we have, the home, Mother Gaia. We truly need to learn to appreciate it even more, because till now we've been destroying our own environment, like caterpillars are doing. They're destroying their own environment. They get onto the leaf and they eat it. They get onto another leaf, they make it a home, and then they eat it. They destroy their own environment. That's what we've been doing, destroying the earth. And now we are going through that chaos, so we can become the butterflies. So we can fly freely. But until then, we need to learn some important things. We need to gain some great powerful lessons, which sometimes can be painful, but at the end they are truly beautiful, empowered. So do not be afraid. When it comes to future, do not be afraid. Empower yourself. And always know that you have a great capacity within you to change, to evolve, to thrive, to be resilient when it comes to challenges, when it comes to changes. We can adapt to anything because we are wired that way. As the nature is adapting to anything, we can adapt to anything as well, because we are the nature. So always have it in your heart. And when times will be hard, when you will be bombarded by negative information, turn your head towards the sun and you will never see the shadows. Not that the shadows will disappear, but you will enlighten yourself. So you can get stronger. Whatever those words mean to you, just take time for yourself, relax, separate yourself from the action, from whatever is happening, and go within, because all the answers are already within you. So this is it for today, my friends. A little bit longer video, but I needed to put everything into it. There are still things I could talk about, but it would be too long. Maybe I will make another one. We'll see. My friends, I'm sending you all love, blessings, and lots of power. Have a beautiful day, and I hope you've enjoyed today's painting. Brave as a Lion is the name of it. And it completely goes hand in hand with today's message, because we need to be brave. As I mentioned before, if you want to go with those changes and thrive at them, it takes a lot of courage and bravery. So I'm sending you all of that. Find it within you. Find that inner fire. Always follow that inner guidance. Always follow that. And remember that you can overcome anything. And the light always wins. Always. So see you in the next one. One love.